I always liked small communities. I was raised in them, and as I got older, I was always drawn back to them. In politics, this can be good or can be bad. Good because you get to know more about your province. Bad because there were fewer voters and time seemed always of the essence. Why go to small communities? There's no votes there. Nevertheless, I prevailed in one election campaign, much to the chagrin of the election planners, to visit the community of Poile, an isolated community on the southwest coast of the island. I had prided myself that I had been to nearly all the inhabited places on the island, and Poile was one that I had never visited, and hence I wanted to add it to my list, as well as show my concern for those who lived there. So with the required campaign staff, press person or two, and a megaphone at our fingertips, we set off in a helicopter. Of course, the south and southwest coast is notorious for its fog, as the election planners kept reminding me. And so it was with great relief that as we came to the coast from the north, we could glimpse that a glorious day lay over the community. The pilot landed the helicopter in one of those few places just large enough to do so, and we were off around the harbour pathway to an appropriate location to deliver a speech on behalf of the party, our candidate and myself, explaining why the people there should vote for us. After tracking down the well-used pickup truck, I got into the back of the vehicle and with megaphone in hand began to wax eloquent to almost all of the inhabitants of the community. In the course of my talk, I happened to glance off to my left, and I noticed in the far end of a rocky field, just beyond the truck, an older gentleman sitting, likely out of earshot, even for my well-performing megaphone. For a politician, this is most aggravating. But I soldiered on, trying not to be put off by one of the elder citizens of the community, obviously a supporter of the opposing party. After completing my speech and getting down from the truck to mingle among the people, I glanced to see if my wayward voter was still in his place in the field. Sure enough, he was still there, keenly following the proceedings. I signaled to one of my campaign staff that he should, with the candidate, request that the people move just down over the hill to a pre-arranged lunch at the local school. I then whispered to him that I would be a little late for lunch, but given that it would take some time for everyone to get refreshments and a sandwich, I was sure to be there lots of times to speak one-on-one and answer any questions from the people. As the people moved down toward the school, I jumped the rail fence and made my way up the field to meet the challenge before me. Sensitive that this might not be easy, a Tory premier meeting a senior citizen in a historically liberal town. It was one of those special days, warm and so clear that you could see for miles. And for a moment I savoured the peace and freshness that was all around me. I sat down next to my distant spectator. "How are you doing today, Skipper?" I asked. "Number one," he replied, with a slight twinkle in his eye. "You never came down to the truck?" I inquired. "No, boy. Me legs are not what they used to be. Can barely walk a few feet. And I don't like asking for help. But my ears are good. I heard most of what you had to say." "Good for you," I said, trying to keep a brave face. Well, perhaps then I can count on your vote come polling day. I'm doing my best to get around to many of the smaller places and not just go to the big places where most of the votes are." "So, it's a good thing you're doing there." "I say," he retorted, "a really good thing." Mindful of my lunch obligations just down the hill and aware of the coy approach of my new acquaintance, I got up to leave and was about to bid a friendly goodbye when he raised his arm and with a sudden conviction exclaimed, "No, don't go yet. Please sit down. I won't be long." His tone, more than his words, told me he had important things to say, and I quickly sat down again. "Do you know something?" he said, in a quivering voice. "What's that?" I said, half afraid to ask. "Well," he said, "'tis this. Joey Smallwood said he had been in every community on the island. You're too young to remember, but I remember. I heard him say it on the radio. But that's a lie. He was never in this place, because I had lived here for over 70 years, and I should know. Somewhat taken back, I responded, "Yes, Skipper, I have heard Joey say that many times, but I did not know if it was true or not." I responded eagerly. His voice now raised, he exclaimed, "And another thing, you're the first Prime Minister or Premier to ever put such shoe leather in this place. Did you know that?" Now fully surprised, I replied, "No, sir, I did not know that." "And I'm some proud you're here," he continued in a broken voice. "And I bet you don't know how many people vote Tory in this place, especially since Confederation, with the baby bonus and old age pensions? Let me tell you, 2. And I was always one of them."